Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Pete Morgan and you're watching my brand new save on Football Manager 23 called Bouncing Back. This is a save where we take one of the teams that were relegated in final season before the Football Manager 23 come out. So in this case it was one of, I believe it was Norwich, Burnley or Watford, and we've chosen Watford. So we're going to manage Watford. The idea is to get them back in the premiership and keep them there. So that's the plan. So Watford have today confirmed the appointment of Pete Morgan as the club's new manager. Eyebrows have been raised because I've got no experience whatsoever. Plenty of questions when he faced me for the first time at Vicarage Road. Morgan has put pen to paper on a deal worth 29.5k per week. He replaces the previous manager Chris Wilder. When I say no experience, we're actually not starting with zero everything, because the chances of walking into a championship club as your first club are pretty zero. So we're joining a club that's sort of up and down, up and down. They get in a premiership, but they never stay there, do they? That's one of the reasons I was quite keen to do this as the first one in this type of save. Yeah, media prediction second. That's fine. We want to win it. So, you know, the idea is to bounce back into the premiership, stay there, and probably end up winning the premiership and Champions League, FA Cup, becoming a top team. Whether that happens or not, don't know. It's August. New version of the game's coming out around about October, November time, so we will see how far we can get with it. So the team looks quite good. João Pedro up front, Cleverly, Chowdhury, he's here still. Don't know a lot of these. I'm not a big Watford supporter. Kamara. It looks like we've got a goodish side there, doesn't it, eh? So we've got key player is João Pedro, which goes without saying. Captain's Tom Cleverly, and we haven't got any goal scorers or anything yet, so everybody's, I'm guessing, are still going to be on holiday. So let's move on to the next step. Sign players at the age of 23 for the first team, under the age of 23. That's what we do anyway, isn't it? Sign players under the age of 21 for the future, so that's good. Do not sign players over the age of 32. I tend not really to buy anybody over the age of 23, but we will see. And the idea with all my saves is we don't bankrupt the club, so I've no idea what sort of money Watford's got. This is my first look at them, as you are as well. So we're going to sign young players to develop for profit. That's good. Work within a wage budget, because invariably what we do is we buy players, we develop them, and then everybody else wants them, which is fine because that makes us money. Gain automatic promotion to the Premier Division. That's what I want to do. Be competitive in the FA Cup, be competitive in the Carabao Cup. That's fine. Nothing wrong with any of that. The idea, like I said, of this save is to get Watford into the Premier Division and become an established Premiership team. You know, a team that isn't likely to get relegated. I'm trying to think of a mid-table side in the Premiership currently that would probably never get relegated. So I'm not going to do a press conference. I don't bother with that. Arrange an inter-friendly squad. Don't want to do that, and we'll do that every month. Tactical directions required. That's fine. We're going to have a quick look at the squad first, just to see what we've got on the planner. And you need to collect. I keep forgetting that bit. So we're just going to go with anything here. We're going to want to do a Gegen press, I believe, and we're probably going to do that. I'm going to try and avoid this formation. Always seem to end up going to that. The formations, 4 defender formation is good enough. And we'll do just a standard 4-4-2, I think, just to see what the team's like. That might change as we get going. So let's look at the squad planner then. So for 4-4-2 in goal, all pretty much a match. Daniel Bachmann, 27. I was hoping he was going to be 19 then. 22, Maduko Okoye, and Ben Hammer, 34. So straight away, Ben Hammer, nice to meet you, mate, but you're a little bit old for what we want. Okay, so you're off and out of here. So he isn't going to be featuring anywhere, and I'm actually going to go with my youth. They're pretty much the same sort of dap. In fact, the youth player here does look better. Defender right, better way of doing things. So centre half wise, we're looking good. We're looking solid there with 2 good players. We've got good left backs. They're probably the same guys that are good at the backs. No. So Kamara's probably going to be there, isn't he? Right back's okay. We've only got 1 right midfield player. I don't normally play with midfield players. I ought to have a bit of research to see what formation Watford use and try and go with that as well to keep it as realistic as we can. I don't know off the top of my head what they use, so I'll have to have a look. Asana Kamara, João Pedro. I don't think there's anybody else in there. And it looks like we're good up front. We're good right through the centre of the field park. Got some good wide players. So yeah, I'm not going to make a lot of changes to the team yet. So tactical direction, I thought I'd done that. So that's it. I just didn't click the inbox, did I? So that's fine. So core group of supporters, not brilliant, I guess. It is Watford after all. We're going to try and build that up as well. Support culture and expectations, pretty much on a par with the board. Club vision and expectation meeting, we've already read through that, so I'm just going to accept it. There's no point arguing. Pre-season preparation, we're not going to go technical, we're going to go tactical. That's the one I like to do. We've got a training camp arranged. Injury update, squad selection rules, and I've declined to meet the press. So that's pretty much it for an introduction to the save, guys. I'm going to go off now and play pre-season, get that out of the way, and get everything in order. I don't know what my staff are like. I have no idea. Oh dear. So we do need to make sure we've got the best staff in every area for this league. I mean, we've got 2 of 7 coaches, so I'm guessing we're going to be hiring coaches, we're going to be hiring scouts, and we're going to be going for medical staff, although that's not too bad, but we do need to improve the quality. So responsibilities, I will just do this while we're here, okay. Scouting, I do this all the time, okay. Chief scout, scouting meetings is me, head perform, and that's it. I don't take responsibility for any of the scouting. So Helena Costa, whoever she is, there she is my chief scout. We'll see how she goes. She's got to get it right, hasn't she? And then we go looking at transfers and contracts. That's going to be all me. I'm not really going to do anything. I do tend to let my director of football do a little bit, but I'll have to have a look at that a little bit later on. Media, let's get out of this straight away. Let's go. Do I not have an assistant manager? Do I really not have an assistant manager? I don't. So first things first, and I don't go scouting or anything like that. I just put an advert and we go with whoever applies for it. Okay, so that's what we get with that. And we got search starts for assistant manager. So I'll see you in a moment. We'll hopefully have a bit of some staff in place. We'll have a tactic up and running and trained. We'll have pre-season out of the way, and we'll be ready to start the promotion bid. See you soon. Pre-season's completed then. We've had quite a good build up to the league, I guess you'd say. We finished it off with I arranged this last minute because we had like a 2-week gap between our last friendly that had been arranged and Wigan. So we arranged a friendly with a team of equal dap as us and beat them 5-2. Quite happy with that, Udinese, I've got to be honest. So yeah, as you can see, we're playing quite well. So the tactics we've gone with, it's Watford, okay. Unregistered Courtney House. How have I missed that then? Sorry guys, bear with me 1 second. Not quite sure how I missed him. Unless he's the guy that isn't allowed to play for 6 months, which he is. I don't understand this, okay. I've taken a player off Aston Villa on loan. I'm paying him 25 grand a month towards his upkeep, if you like, for want of a better thing. And he's unavailable to play club football from the 1st of the 2nd, 2023 to the 30th of the 6th. So for the duration of the loan that we've got him on, he's not allowed to play club football. And I really don't understand why. So that's why he was unregistered. I just forgot myself. So he's just not able to play, which is a pity because technically he could have been a good player. Indeed, Kone's just picked up an injury, so that's a bit of a worry. So the team, we're playing 4-4-2. We're playing wide midfielders. Okay, so I'm sort of trying to do it the way Watford, or the way I perceive Watford to be. Big burly centre-halves, right? No nonsense, strong, muscle power. I feel that's the way Watford to me have always been, a big burly from the days of Cyril Regis and that up front. So we're looking to have good strength through the middle. We're going to complement that strength with skill and ability in the midfield. So we're playing with an advanced playmaker and a deep lying playmaker. We're playing with wide midfield players that can get up front. Okay, but we are playing quite a defensive unit here, I guess you'd say. I don't think Watford would be gung-ho, so we're not going gung-ho. We've got 4 defensive-minded players. I think I've gone with 3 supporting players and 4 attackers. You need 4 attackers. Your wide players and your front players are attackers, okay? I haven't bothered with this at all. I put it on a Genga press and I've left it. So I haven't changed any of this at all. I know I've got player at defence, which I'm probably going to think of, because I don't think Watford would play at defence, but I always do, so it's one of those. But that's the tactics we're going with to start with. All the players are currently learning that tactic, okay, to play in those positions. I've got players here that are attacking midfield, right, left and centre. He's playing striker. I've got players that want to play attacking midfield, right and left. They're actually learning to play midfield, right and left, because they have to play to the tactic that I've chosen. Finances. Didn't touch on this last time. We have no money. We do now, but we didn't. I sold a player, so looking at transfers just quickly. We haven't done a great deal. I sold this guy here to Burnley for 3.9 million, and I had planned to buy a player, and the board took the budget off me. So I had 3.8 million in my scouting budget, in my transfer budget, and they've taken 1.5 million off me. Not quite sure why. So I went to sign a player. I'd gone through all the contract and that. We were ready to buy him, and I didn't have the funds. So hey ho. But I don't know where this has suddenly come from. We do have a big chunk of debt here. Okay, so it was a gift, which is a worry because it doesn't really. So we've got to clear that at some point, which we will, I'm sure. And we've got some transfer there to sort out. We don't usually bankrupt the club, so we're not going to be spending any money. So that's a team. I've got the staff. If you remember rightly, we were rock bottom in the staffing thing. I've set my staff up to buy my staff or to organise my staff. I don't do that. As you can see, it's Charlie Daniels. Sorry, let's come down here. Hiring and firing all of the coaching staff and that. I just do the big guys, all right? Because I feel that the managers and chief scout, director of football, assistant manager would be me. Although the assistant manager was actually arranged by my backroom staff. I didn't actually advertise the role, or I did do it initially and then I cancelled it when it came through, because I want the backroom staff to be totally responsible for that. And that meant that I have now got Craig Shakespeare as my assistant manager. So he's come in, he was employed by my backroom staff, so he is my assistant manager. And as you can see from the staff, it is starting to improve. Okay, so we are building it up slowly. I've got no adverts out. I've got nothing out at all. As you can see here, we could put adverts out for every job if I wanted to. We're not going to advertise the position. It's down to my backroom staff to get my backroom staff. I wouldn't be bothering buying or negotiating. Or maybe I would head of sports science, but I certainly wouldn't be going out looking for recruitment analysts, scouts and all of that. That's why you have your director of football, your technical director and your chief scout. And it's why you have your assistant manager, director of football, is to hire all your other staff. In my opinion, big jobs then I get involved with. Okay, I get the final say. That's pretty much that. There's not a lot more to tell you about. The tactics are what they are. I'm hoping to stay with this, see how we go in the season. And yeah, we're trying to get Watford back to the Premier. So this is a team that's been playing all the close season for me, okay. So we've got 2 goalkeepers, Bachmann and Okoye. Okoye's got the nod. He's okay. Don't know a lot about him. Don't know him from a footballing point of view, from football I watch. And Bachmann is second choice simply because of the age. I'm developing Okoye. He's only 22. But they're much and much. I may find that I have to rotate these around. I then got Cathcart, who should be pacey, or he's got a bit of pace, good tackling. His crossing's not what I want, but I'm not planning on getting my fullbacks so far forward with Watford as I do with other teams, okay? Other than that, he's got good stats. Suralta, strong, 15 on the strength. Jumping reaches 15, heading 17, that's why he's there. Porteous, pretty much the same, strength's 15, jumping's 13, heading's 15. So they're good, strong, powerful centre halves, which is what we want. And Kamara out on the other side, getting on a bit. We will look to change him. Another pacey fullback, good tackling. We've got Chaudhry then, he's in on loan, so he's not going to be a full-timer with us. I'm not looking to sign him long-term, I don't think, at this moment in time. We don't have the funds anyway. He's my creative, deep-lying defensive midfield player. Okay, so he's a deep line. Goslin, He's coming back from injury. No, he's not. It's the other one that's coming back from injury. Where are you? Cleverly's coming back from injury. He is the main guy. He's a team captain. That is the one change I'm going to make today, is put Cleverly in. He is my midfield linchpin, I guess you'd say. He's the guy that we'll be looking to make everything happen. Again, he won't be getting a new contract, so he's contracted to us till 2024, so we've got 2 seasons of him. I won't be renewing his contract, he's too old, and I don't do that. So we got Ken Sema, 28-year-old Swedish midfielder on the left. Good pace, good standard ability, I guess you'd say, for the championship. Nothing outstanding. Then you've got Saar on the right, who everybody should know about. Ismail Sarr, 18 pace. He's going to be getting down and hopefully getting the ball in for us. Then we've got João Pedro, deep line forward. I'm expecting him to score some goals, okay. And we've got a Sprilla, youngster, 18-year-old Colombian. I'm expecting him to get us some goals as well, okay. He's worth some money. He's going to be here hopefully long term. We will see how it develops. Got a few players then on the bench that I've got to sort through. I'm still learning the players, remember, okay. We've got some good up-and-coming players here. This is one that's learning to play right. I'm going to pick, what have I got here? Defender, defensive midfield, wing back, midfield, right centre. So I'm going to take him out because I want a bit of rotational ability. I need to be able to move stuff about. Keenan Davis is a youngster. He's on loan from Villa. Asambula is an older guy, so I'm going to put Keenan Davis in, and who am I going to change, guys? I'm going to take Bakuna out for now, just till we get to know the team. I need a little bit of ability to put in new strikers, new midfield players, new defenders. So that's the team. We're playing Wigan today. We've got a few that are lacking match fitness because they've had injuries. So we've got Wigan at home. I'm hoping we're going to have a good start. Burnley are our biggest rivals. We're expected to finish second according to the odds. Whether we will or not, we will wait and see. So we're playing Wigan. It's a first game of the season. It's an unknown for me. I've never managed Watford before. I've never really started a save in a championship before, so this is going to be a learning curve right the way through. And here we go. We're getting ready for the kickoff. And yeah, here starts a new season, a new saves. Rebooted everything. I'm an ex-international footballer with a pro licence. As I don't think anybody less than that. Maybe not the pro footballer or whatever you like, but I think you'd have to be a top manager to come in, or a manager with some experience. I have no experience, so obviously we're building on that. And I think realistically, and we're still going to try and do this realistically, we don't go searching for players. It's only players that the staff, my scouts and everybody finds for me. You can ask your director of football. So it's pretty much the same rules as Dare to Win. Keep it as real to life as we can. And the object of this save is, and that's a good start, and João Pedro straight away. We got the ball in. And I'm happy already. João Pedro with a nice little foxtrot there for celebrating a goal. And Sarr gets it out wide. Kamara runs onto it, takes on his man, gets it to the byline almost, and a crossing. And yeah, it flicked up kindly. And João Pedro opens his account with a nodded little finish into the corner. 1-0 Watford. So that's going to move us up straight away. We are looking a better side. It's early doors yet. We're only 11 minutes in. Excuse me. A bit of a frog on the throat, and this is a worry. They've got straight in behind us, and the keeper's got down while they're a coy. Bit of a worry. They ran off us, but we don't have a lot of pace at the moment. We're struggling. I didn't realise Watford had absolutely no money. I knew they wouldn't have bucketfuls of money, but I expected to be able to sign like 3 or 4 goodish players. I expected to get the Premier League cascade payment showing up, which I haven't seen yet, unless that's already been and gone. We have got the 40 million, so maybe that's part of it. And a nice strike again there. We are knocking on the door again already, aren't we? Sarr got run off the ball there. That was probably the stronger player, was the Wigan player there. And we're on the back foot a bit now, so we do need to hold on to this well-headed clear now. That's what I'm expecting to see from one. Oh, that's got to be a free kick, surely. Bit of a free-for-all in the midfield. I'm expecting to be quite powerful through the middle of the pitch. Well, defence and attack. Maybe not so in the midfield. We have to be a little bit more dainty in midfield and try and create and work chances and control possession. And you can't do that if you're just going around kicking everybody. So you have to be able to play football. And that's out wide to Sarr, nods it back to Cathcart. Cathcart to cleverly back to Chowdhury. We really do, and that's the two midfield players. Although he's deep lying, the two midfield players are expected to sort of work up and down the midfield section of the pitch, which is why they're called midfielders. And that was I thought it was their defender headed that, in all fairness, but it's a goal kick. Yeah, so Chowdhury and Cleverly are expected to work the space. I know in my other saves I've used a lot of Mazzalas. I'm not going to do any of that this time at Watford. I don't think Watford are at this moment of the save are that sort of team. I think they would play with, and that's a nice strike by Sarr, just over for a goal corner kick. Good save by the keeper, I guess. And it would be nice to get a second goal before half time. The keeper's come out, gathered that while Amos. So I haven't really looked at anyone. I've looked at a couple of midfield players. I've building up my what do they call it when you put players on your watch list? So my scouts and that are coming to me with potential signings, and I'm putting them onto my wish list, I guess you'd say. The ones that I feel are good enough. Obviously I'm looking, everything we do is with a view to being a Premiership club and stay in a Premiership club. Let's say we get lucky enough, and that's a lovely strike, to get promoted this season. I'm not expecting to. I'd like to, obviously, because it's called bouncing back for a reason, but I don't expect, that it's a championship. There's no guarantee any team's going to bounce, and this is a worry, and good defending again there. So we're giving up chances, but we are at the moment getting back and dealing with them. But yeah, although this is called bouncing back, it's not meant to be bouncing back the first season. It's meant to be that when we get back in a Premiership, which we will in the next season or two, that we don't come straight back down. That we actually manage to stay there and we start challenging and become the best of the rest, I guess, would be our target long term. I don't see Watford ever being a world dominating football team. They may, who knows? But at the moment, the idea is to become established Premiership team and then maybe best of the rest. And that's got to be a cracking goal from João Pedro, who gets his second of the season. Lovely volley from, what was that? Just about 16 yards, maybe 15 yards. Cracking little volley, and the keeper got some hands on it, but it was just too powerful for him. And cleverly, there you go, Asprilla gets it down, and Pedro there. Keeper got one hand on it. All he could do was push it into the corner. Lovely finish by João Pedro. Lovely build-up play. Cleverly Asprilla, and no, he's onside. And João Pedro gets his second. Short term, I guess we're going to be struggling to hold on to players like João Pedro. People are going to come and turn their heads, and they're probably going to want to move on. So we are going to have to try and work on keeping them. And yeah, time will tell how this all goes. So Kamara into João Pedro. Pedro cleverly forward to Asprilla. Get out wide to Sema. Now this is sort of play I wanted to see up front. Maybe not as delicate at the back, but that's a lovely ball into the box, and Sarr's picked up an injury. How bad is that? Doesn't look too bad at the minute, but he is injured, so it's 44 minutes. He will be coming off at half time. I am actually, even though we're on a highlight, I'm going to praise the guys. I know we're not about to let a goal in, because I'd like to praise them and start that building of the relationship between me and the team. And João Pedro again with the header, but a bit far out that time and not enough power in the header to worry the keeper. And yeah, we're going into half time 2-0 up, so I'm quite happy with that. We've had a lot of shots on target so far, so I am happy. We're going to look at the tactics because Sarr's got an injury. It's only Amber, thankfully. It's a potential knee injury, which is a worry, but Kalu will come on for him there. Nobody else needs to come off yet. Back to the dressing room and start the second half, and let's go for it. So we don't need to encourage anything or push. we're playing a positive game, because I don't think we could play balanced, I guess, but we still need to go out and attack. And I think Watford at home or in a championship would try to be positive. We're favourites to go up, so you're not going to go out and play defensive football, are you? If you're favourites to go up, you obviously know that you're good enough to win. Well, I say win the league. Don't forget, we've got Burnley under the Man City centre half. What was his name? He'll come to me in a moment, no doubt. I could have gone to Burnley, but I didn't want to take him out of his management role, because obviously he's got them up this season, so we're leaving him there. Vincent Kompany is his name, isn't it? Suddenly came back to me there. And it's a cracking effort again. I do like the amount of efforts we're having, the chances we're creating, and we're not scared to let fly. Like I said, I've just gone with the Genga press. I haven't then adjusted any of the settings for team play that come with that. The only thing I've done is obviously adjust individual responsibilities, whether they get forward, go out wide. I mean, my wide midfield players are wide midfield players for a reason, so I haven't asked them to cut in. I've asked them to get as wide as possible with the ball as well, to spread the play. And hopefully then the idea is that we get the ball into the box for our two strikers to score the goals, and that's the reason behind this. I want to be attacking, and Esprilla, lovely little chip, just curled away, didn't it, at the last moment there, curled away from that top corner. I think the keeper might have had it covered, but we're 2-0 up, 68 minutes. We're going to be looking to make a couple of changes in a moment. Hopefully we're not going to do something stupid and let them back in just before we make the substitutions. We've played and defended quite well so far, I believe, but we're letting them play it a bit. That's a long shot over the top, nothing to worry about. And yeah, I'm quite chuffed with the way we're playing. Obviously, Wigan, I believe, would be... Did they get relegated last season? I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it did. So João Pedro, he's put in a good shift for us. So I'm glad I put alternative striker on the bench after. Sema's playing well. Everybody's playing quite well. Who do I take out here? It's mainly now just to rest players for the next game, because obviously Dan Gosling... Does he play? Well, it says he can play out there. Nah, he can't, can he? I'm not going to put Dan Gosling out there, I don't think. He hasn't got the pace or anything, has he? Excuse me. I'm going to put a new midfield player in for Porteous. He's on a yellow card. He's complacent. Don't want him making any silly mistakes. Got way too many guys on loan for my liking. Chowdhury's going to get a rest and give one of my own players, Kiyemba. He's 23 years old. He can play midfield centre or defensive midfield, so he's got a bit of aggression, got the strength that I'm after in this defensive midfield position. He's just probably not quite a Hamza Chowdhury at the moment. So I've got one more to wake, and I'm going to bring on a defender. I am actually going to bring him on. So we've got João Ferreira. He's 21 years old. He can play for us. He's one of our players, and obviously the idea this season is to get rid of the loan players. I don't really want to be using lots of loan players, and I can't bring anyone in on loan because I've got like 5 or 6 players already arranged here on loan. So we will be looking for one that I can't use. I just don't understand why we would be spending 25 grand a month plus a loan fee on a player that can't play football. I mean, I don't know who was here before me. I didn't bother looking, but that's not very... No wonder we have no money, if that's the sort of shenanigans that's going on. But I thought we were going to get onto that there. Cathcart gets it down, but Cleverly was caught out there. And this is the problem with Cleverly in the midfield. Cracking challenge, in fairness. He just hasn't got that pace nowadays, has he? So we will be looking to change him maybe. And this is a worry. They've driven in, and then he went alone. Bit ball greedy there. I thought if he'd squared that, they were in with a good goal scoring opportunity. Always press. We always press, guys and girls. And that's a good cross in, and the header's there, and it's 2-1. 76 minutes gone. So we've given Wigan a lifeline here now, with some... Disappointed to be letting in a corner. I thought we'd set up to stop that sort of thing, but obviously not. There was a crowd at the near post, and the Wigan guy Corker, centre half, got in above us. So can't really argue with that. Now we need to hold on. We've had a good game. We don't want to come away from this with a point or less. I think from what I've seen, we deserve to come away with 3 points. Joe Ferreira, Senna, Joe Ferreira, Kiembe. Cleverly, lovely ball. Just cut out by the defender there. I thought he'd found the gap there and played it in behind. Now we need to really nip this in the bud in the midfield, guys. He's played it over the top. Now we're in trouble. And they're trying. Kiembe gets back and it's clear, but we're not picking up the loose ball all of a sudden. They're getting a little bit more tight, and that's good defense. Oh, we've hit our own defender. With a good bit of pace for the fullback, which we're looking for a long range shot, which Okoye has handled well. Oh my word. Now, I've thought this was quite comfortable up until 76 minutes, and suddenly we're up against it. But here we go again. Davis. This is really because I read the K first. Davis drove into the box. João Ferreira picks up a loose ball. Ferreira, rather, not Ferro. Ferro Rocher. Ferreira now, again with the ball, plays it back. This is it. Let's get control of this ball. Do not do anything silly. Cleverly plays it back to Serreta out to Cathcart, and I'm still learning the names, that's why they're different every time I say them. And Cathcart drives to the touchline again but doesn't cross it. Plays a silly ball back, a nothing ball, and gives possession away cheaply. 83 minutes gone. They've gone long, and I'm guessing we snuffed that out. We've given them too much now all of a sudden. We've dropped our possession. They've taken some chances and they're putting us under a bit of pressure. Fingers crossed that's going to be, and it's not, is it? Now we're 93, we're into extended, and that's it. Thought they were going to get one last chance. So we've come away with what was a comfortable win. Maybe not so comfortable towards the end, but this is a championship, so it's 2-1. I'm quite happy with that. I'm not going to get into Jekyll and Hyde and that sort of rubbish at the moment. I was quite happy with that. And that, gents, wraps up the first episode. We're sitting 6th, 3 points from possible 3. And where are they? Burnley only drew their first game. 1-1 at Wickham. Well, there you go. So that's the first episode done of the new save. I just want to go now and look at the schedule. Okay, we've got to get Carabao Cup here. Unknown at the moment. I think we're going to go away. I quite like the idea of the Middlesbrough game. See if we get in the Carabao Cup. If it's somebody that looks easy, we'll probably do the Birmingham Middlesbrough, or even come back and do the Wickham West Brom. But we'll have a look. It all depends who we get in the Carabao Cup. Hope you've enjoyed it for the first episode of a new save. Thanks for watching. It is appreciated. Don't forget to leave us a like. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to leave some comments, guys. We can have a bit of a natter. Keep it polite. I'm doing this for fun. I'm not saying that what I'm doing is dead right on every point, but let's keep it friendly, have a bit of fun. That's what this is about. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Take care.